All right. So this collective reading is about money. And I asked the guides if this was about like work specifically, and it wasn't. It was like just specifically money and finances. So it's not necessarily related to your work. Um, this was really funny. It came out first. It says to siphon power from a word, steal its vowels. Write down words that need to be drained, like I hate you or you're fired. Or maybe something like lack or debt or whatever it is that maybe you're dealing with in regard to money. And cross out the vowels. Speak the remaining nonsense, letting your tongue taste the senselessness. For good measure, burn the paper to ash. So I'm getting the sense that, like, especially around money and finances, like you've probably been feeling very frustrated. There's some energy you need to release, or maybe take back. So it could go both ways, right? Like either you're releasing frustration, or maybe you're doing both. You're releasing frustration and you're taking in power because you need to be feeling a lot more empowered about money and finances right now. And it's funny that like it is inviting you to burn it. It's inviting you to do something really kinesthetic, do something physical, right? You're using both your language, your tongue, your vocalizing, as well as maybe even like ripping up or burning paper. So really like let it the frustration out. You know, there's probably a part of you that knows that money should not be this difficult, that like we've kind of in this insane planet where just surviving isn't guaranteed. You know, at least the way at least the way it used to be. And so I know that you're probably one of the ones that is here to create a different reality around money and abundance and just living and thriving on this planet. And so like please process that frustration because otherwise you're holding it in your body and it's part of what's keeping you like stuck to the old way because you're really, really angry about it. Like, rightfully so, right? Like, this is not to diminish real suffering that you've experienced or like very real frustration and anger, maybe some grief. Um, but please, yeah, process that with maybe this if you want to, or something else. Like, know that I always invite you on this channel to be listening to your own intuition, right? Like these general readings, you know what's going to resonate with you from this. And like this whole listening to this video is a practice of you tapping into your own intuition, as that is the most important for you. So I actually feel now a sense to pull one of my own cards. One of these days, I'm going to create a whole deck myself. But right now, I've got my fun little ones that I just drew on some paper, and you can do that too. You know, like if you ever feel inspired to create your own deck, you can just grab some paper and draw some symbols or some pictures and some words and just like see what comes to you. It's interesting. The no, oh no, the now. I thought it was my no card. It's the now card. The now flipped around as I was pulling this. So, my God, okay. I can really feel the I can really, really feel the energy moving right now for you and money. Like the money is and finances are like right here, right now for you. It was funny when I originally asked my pendulum about like, is this a time bound reading, which means like, should I be saying like, oh, this is your, you know, things to know your next week, things to know in your next month, whatever. It was like, no, because it's right now. This is so relevant to you. So I really invite you, like, even as you're listening to this, start get putting together what you need to do to do this like releasing energy ritual, this empowering ritual, because you're gonna do this right after this video. Just do it. Okay. Let's see what the Ascended Masters have to say about this. Actually, no, I'm getting my other deck first. 1 second. Oof. This energy is like really, really strong. So I know both you've been experiencing probably a lot of energy around money and finances, Maybe you've been experiencing a lot of urgency, but I don't get so much that, more along the lines of like the time is now for this change to occur. And what is this? What else do we need to know about money, finances, my beautiful people that are listening? Okay, listening to this. Hmm. The Holy Mountain, Soul Calling Sacred Journey Pilgrimage. So um you having a different relationship with money and finances is like a part of why you're here. I think because you're one of the ones, that are here to create the different paradigm, the paradigm where money and abundance and thriving on this planet is real and not just held down by systems. Even the my plant here is like touching it. It's like pointing like, yes, this. Um, but yeah, this, and also I think too, to understand that your journey that you've had with money like is has been sacred. Now it's not been easy, and I'm not saying that. But it's been like whatever your journey has been with money up until this moment, it's been part of the sacred journey. So let me read a little bit from the book. So it says, the world over, many mountains are revered as sacred and holy. Perhaps it's their great beauty and majesty that's attracted intrepid adventurers and spiritual pilgrims for millennia. Or their far reaching peaks, the highest points on the planet, and the way they seem to touch the heavens while at the same time being made of steady stone, the bones of the earth. And there's something there too, right? Just like similar to how mountains reach both the heavens and then are very grounded in the earth. There's something very much like that about you and your relationship to money. That it's not just this, oh, beautiful, ethereal, just up in other dimensions, understanding of abundance, but it's supposed to be right here, right now, like very grounded, very powerful. There's something here too, like this isn't just about saying sweet words about like, oh, you're so powerful and everything. Like there is something about like the majesty of this mountain that is reflecting you right now, and that you may be like much more on a foundation of your own creation that is making it possible for you to actually have this different relationship with money. And it was the foundation that's taken all this time, however long it's been, to create. Like none of it is wasted in this sacred journey. Yeah. What else? Because I know like a bunch of these cards tried to jump out all at once. Ooh. All right. Creativity, creative expression, trust your vision. So, similar to what I said about like my own intention is that these videos will be a call for you to trust your own intuition. This is also a specific reading about trusting your vision. It's just like really powerful. The energy moving right now, and I might actually do a little bit of energy healing to move some of this energy as well, because you see how much like light is coming out of her third eye. Like I'm sensing it also like physically in my own head, and maybe you've been experiencing like a lot of energy trying to come through to um, give you more clarity around vision, but it feels overwhelming. Like it's been overwhelming for you. Um, and that it's probably been hard to figure out where to start because there's just like it's just so big. It's almost like it hasn't even come in detail because there's just like so much energy. You can feel that there's all this energy and this clarity is trying to come through, but it's like you can't really grasp it because it's like too big. It's not coming through what might feel like a small center, right? So let's take a moment now and close your eyes if you want to. But we're going to start sort of expanding that energy around your third eye so that you have connection to your vision, so that you have that connection to creative expression that's trying to come through. And also, because you get to be the director, you're not just listening, right? You're not this passive agent in your own life or your own reality. Like, you are the person directing it, so you can ask this energy to come with clarity and to come at a pace that works well for you, and and in a way that feels like joyful to you and fun. So just right now, moving this energy, we're sort of like guiding it. You can ask your, you can direct and guide this energy, right? So like if you have preferred ways of expressing, you can begin to sort of visualize almost like guiding that energy into the things you already know you want to create. And then also, just I think also breaking it up a little bit because it got really dense because it was sort of like a clogged drain almost. I don't know how to say that, but like, so just breaking it up, allowing yourself to experience a little more play because you were taking this really, really, really seriously. And not that you shouldn't take your work seriously, but it was like too much. There wasn't enough play. There wasn't enough of that joyful, light energy around the creativity. You were putting a lot of pressure on it. It's feeling a bit lighter now. Mm. And so then now coming into your rhythm, inviting that energy to move at your rhythm, knowing this does not have to be perfect. This isn't the last rhythm you'll ever have in your life. This is the next rhythm. So understanding that the now rhythm, the rhythm coming in now, that is going to tap into the strengths and the skills that you currently have and that you are developing. You're asking this energy to align with where you are at now, to tap in and tune into where you are on the timeline, what you're doing now, opening doors, of course, expanding, of course, but not to be something that's out of reach. Okay. Now let's talk to the Ascended Masters. Mm. So we have Peace Offering from the White Buffalo Calf Woman. You know what's really cool? I live near some mountains, and it was just maybe not too long ago, 2 weeks, week and a half, not totally sure. I was out walking, and there had been one of our first snows of the season, and I finally looked up on the path that's relatively near my home, and I saw in the mountain what looked like I could see the shape of like the back of a buffalo and its little horns, and it was all white because of the snow. I was like, oh my God, I can feel the energy of this white buffalo in this mountain. It was so strong and so clear. I'm like, how? I've been here for over a year. Literally didn't see it till just recently. Okay, I know I'm pulling out a bunch of cards right now, but we're gonna get to this in a second here. But I think that came to mind because, it seems like now is the time where you're really receiving this ability to bring your gifts. Oh, okay. We talk to the same guides sometimes. Just over and over again. But, that's okay. They're here to be telling us, they're here to be supporting us. All right, so let's start with the peace offering. So this says that this card heralds the resolution of an argument or misunderstanding. Those involved in the situation are ready to forgive and forget. Be open to seeing other points of view as you allow compassion to the situation. Love's healing power ensures that everyone's needs are met harmoniously. Leave the details about how the situation will resolve to the infinite wisdom of spirit. So this really just has to do with like that willingness to forgive, having compassion for the situation, seeing the humor in the situation. So there's something here, because this is specifically about finances, right? So there's something here around maybe making peace with your journey up into this moment. Whew. Yeah, you have dealt with a lot. And I'm, my heart is very much like, I mean, I feel a lot in my head, but like, I have a lot of compassion for the journey that you've been on with money, and really just sensing into how the universe is supporting you in maybe putting to rest the past because you're open now to something new. And so making peace, like truly making peace, and especially if it had to do with other people. So like oftentimes, like if you've struggled with finances and money, that there have probably been other people involved throughout your journey. Maybe were supporting you or weren't supporting you, who maybe were supporting you, but there was a lot of manipulation involved or obligation. Um, and so there's an element of like making peace with all of that because you're stepping into something totally new where you won't necessarily you won't have to be engaging with these same people in that same way. Understanding you are extra sensitive, right? And that this can impact your financial flows, but it doesn't have to be in a negative way. So, having a lot of compassion for yourself as you move through this releasing, this empowering journey, tapping into your creativity. And also, I get the sense of like, as you make peace with the past, you're opening up this space. And in that space, really, really guard that space so that it's your energy that's coming through because you can get really sensitive to other people's energies. So, like, that can start clouding up that space that you're creating around money and finances. But right now, your creativity is really calling to come through now. So, do what you need to do to guard this space that you're opening up. And that can mean taking time to be maybe alone. That could be doing whatever is really nurturing to you. It can also be really practical steps like creating spreadsheets and things like that, just so you have some, structure around the flowing energy. And it's okay to have both. It's really important, because we've got this sort of like masculine energy here, which could also be your personal masculine energy, which is like creating those structures to be clear and to open up the doorways for those finances to come in. Like, is there anything like practically in your world that would really support more money coming in? Like, do you have places to put it? Like, really? Do you have spreadsheets that would help to track it? Do you have a business? If you have a business, do you have a way to sort of show what's happening so that you're not getting lost in that? Because you don't want this inflow, this new reality with money to put you in a bad position later. Or, like, let it be easy. You're a sensitive soul. Like, if you allow for the structure to support the fact that you're a beautiful, sensitive, creative, courageous soul, you can relax a little more, which can help with the feeling more of that peace. So, also, what might be involved here too is creating some peace around previous masculine energies that have been involved in your money reality, which could be your father, your husband, your anybody else. Like, I'm not so much getting brother and son, but like it could be for sure. But um, maybe doing your own meditation to, and whatever that means to you, like if you like talking to yourself, that's great. If you like visualizing things, like maybe doing this peace offering, not to them specifically, right? Because they've got their own karma to deal with for whatever happened. But for the way you're carrying that story, so you're doing this within yourself for yourself, and it could be to maybe to cut some cords from some of the masculine energies that have been around your money. And also, I want to say too, like this can be the masculine structures of the current form of capitalism, patriarchy, and other things like that. You know, so it doesn't have to be a specific person. It could be more of a general structure that you are cutting ties to, so that you can bring in your specific flow. Um, and opening the door for this like courageous energy to come through. Stand up for your beliefs. She is a friggin' badass. I love when she comes. Look at that. Stare into her eyes. um, this does take courage though, because you know when you are releasing the old, it's not always exactly clear what is next. I know you have a sense of generally what's next, but sometimes it's hard because the specifics aren't there. Maybe some of the details aren't there. But I think it's a little more having to do with the fact that like you're moving into a really, really empowered place, like now. um, and I want you to know that you already have the courage that can hold this. You already have the energy that can hold the influx of money that's coming your way. The and that could be like an expansion of your business, and so like being able to hold that. Like mm, you've really expanded on who you are as a person. So take courage. I feel like you already have this courage, but it's almost like you know when a new giraffe is born, they're kind of wobbling on their long legs. It's kind of an image like that, where like you have this courage, like you've really up leveled spiritually. And so it's just you letting yourself get your legs for it, if that makes sense. Like taking those steps to show yourself that you have this. Okay. And then lastly, our bodies register things our minds dismiss, which is why our bodies are a perfect doorway to connect us with the moon-drenched landscapes of intuition. We can see in the dark if only we let ourselves. Ooh. So this, I'm really getting that sense of like your connection to your creativity, your sensitivity, this mountain energy that you are creating, this foundation. Actually, you know, like you already have the foundation built. Like you already have the foundation built. This is you like walking up the mountain basically. um and that call to like your because you're there's just like a lot here. Your intuition is coming through your body, and it's because so what have you been noticing like physically happening in your body? Like what has been happening? Has there been pain? Has there been like weird symptoms? Has there been pleasurable symptoms? Have you been feeling like increase of like maybe like sexual energy or just like excitement in your body and you're just like buzzing around? You're like, woo. You know, all of these things can be signs that your intuition is expanding um and I think too there's an element where it can be hard when we're so used to operating only from our mind. And right here it's saying like our bodies register things our mind dismiss, right? So if you've been operating solely from sort of like the logic of the situation or from your mind. Your body is trying to enhance your intuition. So, really offer to your body some beautiful nurturing of whatever that means to you and sort of relax into it. Like, relax into your body so that your mind can relax. Allow your mind to relax so that you can receive your intuition however you do. How do you receive your intuition? Tell me in the comments. What have you been experiencing? What courageous actions, courageous ways of being are you currently stepping into? Who are you making peace with, or what are you making peace with? What creative expressions are you allowing right now? Also, tell me, like, as things come in, obviously very quickly, I'd love to hear how this is going. So I can celebrate you and your courageous creativity. So, if you want a more personal reading, I'm gonna have those up. Probably check mm, the description box if you want a link to that. Um, it would it's gonna be similar to this, right? But a little more on the energy healing side as well. So like part reading, part card pulling for you specifically, and then also a lot of energy healing around whatever comes up. Yeah. All right. So have a beautiful, wonderful day, and I'd love to hear from you.